Imagine a building so opulent that the walls, the floors, even the ceiling beams are completely invisible,
Invisible?
hidden behind pure gold. We are talking about a structure where you could walk into the inner sanctuary and see absolutely no stone, only cedar overlaid with gold.
Ah, you're taking us back to Jerusalem, the Temple of Solomon.
Exactly. But reading through the accounts in First Kings and Second Chronicles, what struck me wasn't just the bling, it was the sheer, overwhelming logistics of it. It feels less like a religious story and more like a massive geopolitical thriller.
That's a great way to frame it, because before a single stone was laid, there was the diplomacy. Solomon is a new king, taking over from his father David, and he realizes he can't build this thing alone, he needs help.
Right, he reaches out to Hiram, the king of Tyre. And this relationship fascinates me. It's surprisingly warm, isn't it?
It is. Hiram actually rejoiced greatly when Solomon reached out, but let's not mistake this for just friendship. This was a high-stakes trade treaty. Solomon needed cedar and cypress from Lebanon because the Israelites didn't have the timber or the skill to cut it.
Nobody knows how to cut timber like the Sidonians, Solomon says.
Exactly. So they strike a deal. Hiram sends the timber down from Lebanon to the sea, binds them into massive rafts, and floats them down the coast. In exchange, Solomon becomes the breadbasket for Tyre. 20,000 cores of wheat and vast amounts of pure oil, year after year.
That's a huge economic transfer. But then you get to the human cost. And this is where the text gets a little darker for me.
The labor force.
Yes, the numbers are staggering. Solomon raises a levy out of Israel, 30,000 men.
And the way they managed it was grueling. It was a rotating draft. 10,000 men go up to Lebanon for a month, then spend 2 months at home. It was a relentless cycle. And that's just the Israelites.
Right. Then you have the foreigners living in the land. We're talking over 150,000 people just carrying burdens and cutting stone.
It's the classic pyramid of antiquity. Beautiful monuments are almost always built on the backs of forced labor, but there is a detail in the construction itself that I find absolutely haunting. It's the contrast between this chaotic, noisy extraction of resources and the actual building site.
You mean the silence?
Yes, the text specifies that the stones were fully prepared at the quarry, so when they were assembling the temple, there was no sound of a hammer, axe, or any iron tool heard at the site.
That is surreal. Think about that. A construction site for the most famous building in history, and it's quiet.
It creates this sense of reverence before the building is even finished. It's like giant, holy Lego blocks sliding perfectly into place, and once the structure is up, the interior work begins, which is just excessive.
Excessive is the word. The inner sanctuary, the most holy place, is a perfect cube, 20 cubits long, wide, and high. And everything is gold, even the floor.
And the cherubim, two massive olive wood sculptures, 10 cubits high, covered in gold, their wings stretching wall to wall. It's designed to be overwhelming. But here is the tension, and I think this is the philosophical core of the story.
Go on.
Solomon knows it's impossible. In Second Chronicles, he has this moment of extreme humility. He asks, who is able to build him a house, since heaven and the heaven of heavens can't contain him?
That's a profound admission. He's building a box for something that cannot be boxed.
Precisely. He admits that the temple is essentially just a place to burn incense and direct their focus. It's for the people, not really for God. God doesn't need a roof. And God actually reminds Solomon of this mid-construction.
The warning.
Yes, the word of the Lord comes to him and says, essentially, this building is nice, but if you don't walk in my statutes, the building won't save you.
It's conditional. The gold, the cedar, the 7 years of labor, it means nothing without the ethical compliance.
That is the tragedy that hangs over the whole story. We know the history. We know the temple eventually falls. But in this moment, for these 7 years, they achieved a perfection of craft that we still talk about 3,000 years later.
It took 7 years to finish.
7 years, and when it was done, it was flawless. No stone seen, just gold and cedar. A treaty with Tyre, a massive mobilized workforce, and peace on every side.
It makes you wonder about the things we build today. We obsess over the materials and the timeline.
But we rarely ask if the foundation, the moral foundation, is actually strong enough to hold it up.
A thought-provoking place to stop. A house of gold built in silence, yet resting entirely on the obedience of the builder.
Beautiful and terrifying.
Thanks for listening. We'll catch you next time.
If you have been blessed by this, please like, subscribe, and share this joy with others. God bless.